Chapter 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Chen Ye hung up the phone, he slowly closed his eyes. Those damned mice should be the SHIELD group that monitored Chen Ye before. This made Chen Ye even more dissatisfied with SHIELD, and he made up his mind that if there was a next time, Chen Ye would not mind giving them some trouble. Chen Ye glanced at the clock in the restaurant. It was almost dinner time again, and it was time to prepare for business. Pietro, it's time to prepare the ingredients for me. I'm about to start work. Chen Ye hurriedly ordered. Chen, I'm not coming back to eat tonight. I'm going to the bar next door to pick up girls, Deadpool quickly interrupted. It's time to find a chef for the restaurant. It's too tiring to do it myself. I have to hire a waiter, too, or I'll be too busy, Chen Ye complained in a low voice. At night, the empty Good Luck restaurant gradually became popular. Old Chen, as usual, give me General Tso's chicken, a fried dumpling, and a Yangzhou fried rice. This is Butler, a snakehead from Hell's Kitchen, a frequent customer of Good Luck. He came with two shy Asian girls. After a while, Chen Ye served the dishes, then wiped his hands, looked at the two young Asian girls and said, "Why, you brought two girls to pay respects today." They just smuggled in, and they insisted on staying when they were asked to leave. They said they came here to make money, so they brought them to pay respects. Everyone knows that in Hell's Kitchen, you are the only one who can make them do business with peace of mind. The snakehead butler said while picking up the dishes with chopsticks. Okay, then take them to Ginny's place. It's all a small matter. Chen Ye said nonchalantly. After listening, Butler gestured to the two girls, which should have been agreed before coming. The two girls took out scattered money from their bags, which totaled less than $1,000, and handed it to Chen Ye. No, keep this money for yourself. Do I look like I need this money? Chen Ye waved his hand and refused. The two girls stuffed the money into their pockets as if they didn't hear it. Take it. Other streets will take it, but you won't. They will have opinions. Besides, if you don't take it, these girls will not feel safe. Just think of it as helping them. Butler picked up a piece of General Tso's chicken and said. Okay. I'll take this money. I'll save it for you first. When you have saved enough money, you can leave Hell's Kitchen and come to me. Eat quickly, both of you. Do you want to eat something else? I'll make it for you. Chen Ye reluctantly took the money and gestured for them to eat quickly. Just as Chen Ye was chatting with the two girls, a figure walked towards the restaurant from the apartment. Hey, isn't this Lao Ma? It's rare to see you come to the restaurant today. Don't you always dislike Chinese food? Pietro teased when he saw Marcus coming over. Chen Ye heard Pietro's voice, stopped talking to the two girls, raised his head and looked in the direction of Marcus. It's not time to pay the rent today. What's wrong, Lao Ma? Chen Ye asked. Lao Ma first found a seat near the bar and sat down, then said to Chen Ye with a serious expression, Chen, I need your help. Chen Ye also noticed something was wrong, because Chen Ye smelled a faint smell of alcohol and blood from Lao Ma. Tell me, what is the problem that even the Continental Hotel can't solve, and you are a small landlord who has to trouble you? Chen Ye suddenly felt something was wrong. Marcus is an old man over 50 years old and one of the killers of the Continental Hotel. At first, Chen Ye thought Marcus was the Green Goblin in Marvel, but later he found out that he just looked like the Green Goblin. He was just rescued by Chen Ye in an accident, and then he has been living in Chen Ye's apartment. He usually stays at home and rarely interacts with others. The Continental Hotel can be said to be a jack of all trades. As long as you pay, you can get information, hire assassins, bodyguards, etc. Of course, they don't use US dollars, but a kind of gold coin. Basically, 80% of the killers in New York will register as members of the Continental Hotel. The Continental Hotel is a gathering place for killers. Of course, there are still many various killer organizations in the outside world, but they are not enough to compete with the Continental Hotel. This shows how powerful the Continental Hotel is. Of course, everything is because there is another organization behind the Continental Hotel, the High Table. It's just that I have an old friend who got into some trouble recently, and then he was chased by the killer and fled here to find me. He wanted to rest a few days. Marcus' voice was so low that he couldn't even hear it. Chen Ye's eyes widened after hearing this. Don't tell me that the people from the high table and the people from the hand and the meeting have been looking for someone in Hell's Kitchen these days. They are not looking for your friend, right? Marcus nodded embarrassedly after hearing this. Chen Ye stared at Marcus and continued to ask loudly, "You won't tell me that your friend is in our apartment now?" Chen Ye hoped that Marcus would say the word "not" at this time, but Chen Ye's hope was shattered, and Marcus nodded slowly. "Damn, how did you bring this trouble here?" "I want to raise the rent, and raise the rent severely," Chen Ye said helplessly. "So your friend did something to complain about the world. Why didn't he go to the mainland hotel, but came to my small place to find you?" Seeing that things had come to this point, Chen Ye could only ask. "My friend is called John Wick, and he is also a killer. He is my old friend. As for why he escaped here, I haven't asked him clearly, but he was shot and hasn't woken up yet. I'm going to tell you right away," Marcus said quickly. Chen Ye listened to this familiar name, as if he had seen it in a movie in his previous life. After all, he has been here for more than 20 years. Even if Chen Ye is smart and has a good memory, he can't remember everything. Chen Ye asked uncertainly, "Does your friend have a middle-parted hairstyle?" Marcus nodded. Chen Ye continued to ask, "Does your friend like dogs very much?" Marcus continued to nod like a ruthless nodding machine. The last question, "Does your friend have a title called Night Devil?" Looking at Marcus nodding on the side, Chen Ye confirmed that the man was the protagonist of a movie about rapid pursuit. Pietro on the side also interrupted and said, "It's the Night Devil who killed an entire Russian gang for a dog." "Wow, so cool." So, Chen, you will help us, right? If it doesn't work, I will take people away from here immediately. I won't let you down." Marcus continued to ask. Chen Ye was silent for a while, and Marcus on the side looked at Chen Ye expectantly, waiting for his answer. Chen Ye took off his apron and said, "Let's go." "Where can you go?" "Gao Taijua's people came to assassinate, and it's obvious that they have offended the high-level officials of the high-level table. As for whether you will be involved or not, when you step into my territory, you are my people by default. Lao Ma, you are my tenant after all. For your sake, I still have to go and see that guy. Besides, our apartment lobby is still short of a security guard. Will it be too much trouble for you? After all, the other party is the high-level table." Lao Ma said uneasily. Chen Ye rolled his eyes. "You have brought people here, tell me if it's troublesome or not. I don't care about the high-level table or the low-level table. This is Hell's Kitchen, let's go upstairs." Chapter 12. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the meal, the two of them were very busy. Chen Ye asked Pietro to stay in the restaurant and took the elevator with Lao Ma. Lao Ma's room was on the 5th floor of the apartment. There were about 10 rooms on the first floor, some with 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, and some with 1 bedroom and 1 living room. Lao Ma's house was a 1-bedroom and 1 living room, about less than 50 square meters. Chen Ye also thoughtfully equipped them with a washing machine and a dryer. You should know that in the United States, many apartments do not have washing machines. Generally, there is a public laundry area, and you have to put coins in every time you wash. When I walked into the room, a strong smell of alcohol and blood mixed together, as if hearing the sound of Chen Ye and Lao Ma coming in. A man in a suit and bandages who was supposed to be lying on the sofa suddenly sat up. His expression was very alert, and he was still holding a gun in his right hand. "Relax, this is my landlord. I asked him to help you. Do you feel better now?" Lao Ma hurried forward and asked with concern. After hearing Lao Ma's explanation, the man relaxed and apologized. "Sorry, I thought you were sent by the high table to hunt me down." Chen Ye confirmed that the man with a middle-parted hair and a full beard in front of him was really John Wick, who killed a whole family for a dog. "You shouldn't have come here. You should know that Lao Ma saved you. He will also get into trouble." Chen Ye waved his hand, indicating that he didn't care. "Lao Ma almost died once because of you. Have you forgotten?" Chen Ye continued to add. After hearing Chen Ye's words, John Wick seemed to feel a little guilty. "It's okay, we are friends. What happened to you during this period? Why did someone from the high table come to kill you?" Old Ma asked indifferently. John Wick glanced at Chen Ye hesitantly. It's okay, we are one. He won't betray you. I promise. Old Ma understood that John Wick still didn't trust Chen Ye. If it weren't for Old Ma being my tenant would be my friend. I wouldn't care about you. Chen Ye sneered. John Wick got Old Ma's guarantee, and then slowly told Chen Ye and Old Ma what he had experienced in the past few months. 10 minutes later. So, the elders of the New York branch of the High Table blew up your house, and then you killed them? Old Ma exclaimed in disbelief. And then you violated the rules of the Continental Hotel and killed people in the hotel? Then Winston showed mercy to you and let you go. Old Ma felt that John Wick's experience during this period was enough to be made into a movie. Chen Ye did not speak after listening. He sat on the sofa with an expressionless face, thinking about how to maximize the benefits of this incident. The New York branch of the High Table is now lacking an elder. Can Uncle Jean Bing go there for a while? The High Table is a killer organization formed by major gangs around the world. There are a total of 12 seats, and its headquarters is in the desert near Casablanca. These 12 seats are the management of the High Table, including the Mafia, the Glory Society, and the Antonio family represented by the two sisters who just died. Although the High Table is a family inheritance, and the High Table organization pays great attention to rules, the strong are used to make rules, so just make a new one. After all, both the High Table and the Continental Hotel are quite good forces, whether it is the corpse collection team of the Continental Hotel or the intelligence. There is also the bulletproof suit. After all, the people inside often fight internally, and Jean Bing is also a gangster, so it is more than enough to replace a seat. John Wick saw Chen Ye's face full of serious thoughts, thinking that Chen Ye was afraid of the trouble he would bring and the power of the High Table. Then, John Wick quickly stood up and said, I'm really sorry, I'll leave now. The killers of the High Table won't find out and won't cause you any trouble. Chen Ye quickly held John Wick and said, It's okay, I'm not afraid of trouble. I was just thinking about something just now. You don't think I'm afraid of the people of the High Table? I was just thinking about how to get to the top now that the elder of the New York branch has been killed by you. Your friends are really joking, Lao Ma. I'd better leave here quickly and go to the Continental Hotel in Osaka to find someone else. Obviously John Wick didn't believe what Chen Ye said. He thought he was a person who overestimated his own abilities. Ding ding ding. Chen Ye's mobile phone rang at this time. Chen Ye answered the phone with his right hand, raised a finger with his left hand and put it in front of his mouth, indicating that Lao Ma and John Wick were not going to talk. Silence. Lao Ma and John Wick were confused and could only sit quietly on the sofa in the living room. They looked at each other and only heard Chen Ye's voice. It's me. Yes, there's a rat coming here. Whose people are they? The Continental Hotel in New York was bombed. The elder of the High Table in New York was killed. Go and find out. See if there is any room for maneuver. 3 minutes later, Chen Ye hung up the phone. Then he said to John Wick and Lao Ma, just now the Continental Hotel in New York was bombed, and because of you, Winston's butler Sharon was also killed. Whose people are they? John Wick said angrily after hearing what happened to Winston and pounded the sofa with his right hand. It's the people of the Marquis, one of the 12 seats at the High Table. Now they have also found your trace and sent assassins here. Chen Ye explained. I'm leaving now to attract their attention. You are innocent. John Wick wanted to leave here alone again after hearing this. Old Ma on the side looked at Chen Ye, as if to ask him to help John Wick. Why are you leaving? Do you think that if you leave, the Earl's people will let us go? Don't worry, this is Hell's Kitchen. If they come, I will let them sleep here forever. Chen Ye said calmly. Suddenly, Chen Ye felt a murderous aura. Gunshots rang out, and a bullet shot in from the opposite window. Chen Ye and the other two hurriedly dodged, looking at the window shattered by bullets and the glass shards falling on the ground. Chen Ye became angry, and his right hand swung out a red light, which flew directly towards the sniper. The next moment, the red light directly penetrated the sniper and killed him instantly. Who told you to destroy my house? Chen Ye cursed secretly. John Wick and Old Ma on the side looked at Chen Ye's operation blankly. Landlord, you can do magic. Old Ma pointed at Chen Ye with his right hand trembling. It's strange. The money for the damaged window will be deducted from your deposit. If the deposit is not enough, you can give it to me. You two stay here, I will go and deal with them. Damn it, I saved them from destroying my house. Chen Ye said unhappily. At this time, John Wick wanted to step forward to help, obviously not believing in Chen Ye's strength. Heal your wounds well. I won't let a wounded person participate in the battle, even if you are a night demon. Just watch my performance, it will be quick. Chen Ye said unhappily. Chapter 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sky was dark, but the sky was dark under the puzzled gazes of John Wick and Lao Ma. Chen Ye walked towards the window. Chen, this is the 5th floor. You don't want to jump down directly, do you? Lao Ma asked in shock. The elevator is too slow, jump out of the window quickly, I can't bear to let them destroy my house, even a little bit. After Chen Ye finished speaking, he jumped directly from the window on the 5th floor. When Chen Ye was about to reach the ground, he covered his feet with chaos magic, and his feet glowed red slightly, which slowed down, and then slowly landed. Originally, Chen Ye could jump down directly, after all, he had a self-healing factor, and it would not be a big deal even if he jumped directly from the 20th floor. He just considered that jumping down directly would make a huge noise, which would disturb other residents, which was not what he wanted. Damn it, there's Superman here. A sniper cursed as he looked at the scene in front of him with an 8x scope. John Wick and Lao Ma quickly looked down the window and saw Chen Ye landed safely without any injury or even any sound. The two looked at each other with disbelief in their eyes. Even though they were experienced killers, they had never seen such a scene before. If Chen Ye below knew, he would only say that they were a group of people who had never seen the world. Before, Chen Ye rarely used superpowers because he was afraid of trouble, but since he met Tony Stark, Chen Ye knew that the era of superheroes was coming. In the future, those who can play high-end games are Thor, Hulk, etc., either mutated or relying on technology. Ordinary people can only steal heads like Hawkeye in the back. Don't you see that Black Widow is almost a soy sauce in the later Marvel movies, and can only talk and sacrifice her life? Chen Ye, who had just landed handsomely, had no time to look for the killer, when 5 more gunmen appeared and pulled the trigger at Chen Ye. A large number of bullets were released, forming a rain of bullets. Chen Ye subconsciously wanted to dodge, but when he glanced, he found that the restaurant door was behind him. Damn it, Chen Ye cursed subconsciously, then waved his right hand, and 5 fingers shot out red light towards the rain of bullets. The bullets swept by the red light instantly lost power and fell directly to the ground. Seeing this scene, the killers were just stunned, and then continued to shoot. One of them saw that the bullets were ineffective and took out an RPG from somewhere. With a bang, an RPG came over. Seeing this, Chen Ye waved his right hand, and countless red lines shot at the bullets. He waved his left hand upwards, and saw the RPG missile wrapped in red light and flew into the sky. Just as Chen Ye used chaos magic with both hands, a Barrett bullet flew towards Chen Ye with a bang. In a flash, the Barrett bullet was about to hit Chen Ye's head. You are a professional killer indeed, with such cooperation. Looking at the possibility of being shot in the head, Chen Ye said calmly without panic. The next second, Chen Ye's eyes glowed red, and the bullet flew back in the opposite direction. As the RPG exploded in the sky, 5 gunmen and snipers were killed by their own bullets and fell to the ground instantly. Dad, look, there are fireworks in the sky. A father and daughter from Hell's Kitchen stood by the window and pointed at the sky. With the death of all 5 gunmen, the street became quiet instantly. However, the residents living on the street were obviously attracted by the sound of the fight just now. If residents from other places saw this kind of fighting, they might be scared, but this is Hell's Kitchen, and they grow up in this environment every day. In other words, no one who can live in Hell's Kitchen is an easy target. Just like now, they watched with interest, not afraid of the risk of being accidentally injured by the killer. Killers in suits came from all directions to support, and just as they were about to attack Chen Ye, a group of killers accidentally shot at a BMW car with guns. Tattooed man standing at the window watching the excitement howled angrily, "That's the car I just stole, you stupid birds in suits." The killer shot the man with a warning shot after hearing it, signaling him to shut up. the bullet did not hit the tattooed man, but it was obviously angered. The tattooed man shouted, "Damn bitch, you are provoking our Hell's Kitchen room." Then the suit killer was horrified to find that the tattooed strong man was carrying an RPG on his shoulder and pointing it at himself, completely ignoring the damage that firing an RPG in his room would cause to his home. The suit killer hurriedly fled. After all, his own suit could block bullets, but he would be dead if an RPG came down. These killers didn't care about Chen Ye and quickly fled from the place where the RPG exploded. Even these well-trained killers looked at the place where the explosion occurred and became a little frightened. What kind of hell is this place, so scary? Is it logical for a car thief to have an RPG in his home? Who would steal a car with this thing? Do people in Hell's Kitchen need to use RPGs to steal cars? Chen Ye laughed at this scene and looked around. Come on, I don't need to do anything now. You can just mess with me. Why mess with the residents of Hell's Kitchen? They are not as reasonable as me. As if the RPG just now was a signal to start a war, many residents of Hell's Kitchen took out guns of different calibers from their homes. They fired from the windows from high to low as if they were free. Many killers had bulletproof suits, but their heads were not bulletproof. What's more, they drove cars from all directions and started shooting. The reinforcements sent by the Marquis were killed by the people of Hell's Kitchen before they even reached the block where Chen Ye was. John Wick upstairs was stunned to see the killers downstairs being beaten back by the people of Hell's Kitchen. Are the folk customs of your Hell's Kitchen so simple and wild? John Wick turned his head and asked the calm old Ma on the side. What do you mean your Hell's Kitchen? That's our Hell's Kitchen. Our Hell's Kitchen has always been like this. Since you came to Hell's Kitchen, you are naturally a part of Hell's Kitchen. What's the matter? Do you want to run away after we help you? Old Ma obviously knew Chen Ye's thoughts and knew that Chen Ye wanted to keep his friend here. Old Ma also thought it was good, and he would have a companion in the future. Having lived here for a few years, he has developed a certain affection for Hell's Kitchen. He also knew what Chen Ye wanted to do, and he was looking forward to the changes that Chen Ye would bring to Hell's Kitchen. John Wick didn't say anything after listening, but just smiled and watched everything happening downstairs. It seemed that he found that he was quite suitable for Hell's Kitchen. Chapter 14. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were beaten. That bald guy, you're just standing there, no one has died after fighting for a long time. The fat guy over there, pay attention to the left, pay attention to the left. Just as Chen Ye was commenting on the fight between the people in Hell's Kitchen and the assassins sent by the Marquis with great interest, suddenly a sword light attacked Chen Ye, and Chen Ye immediately jumped back to avoid the attack of the person coming. Then he stood still and kicked the opponent with his right foot. The opponent heard the sound of the wind brought by Chen Ye's right foot and quickly blocked Chen Ye's kick with a knife, and then pulled away. Only then did Chen Ye have the opportunity to look at the person who attacked him. Fuck, Master Yi of Wing Chun. Chen Ye blurted out when he saw the person coming. The other person was a Chinese face that Chen Ye often saw in his previous life, but he was not wearing the clothes of the Republic of China period, but a suit and a pair of black blind glasses. He held a special cane in his hand, which could pull out a sword, which was used to attack Chen Ye just now. Looking at the familiar Chinese face in front of him, Chen Ye was so excited that he almost cried. Although Chen Ye had seen many familiar faces in his previous life after traveling through time, it was the first time he saw such a recognizable and serious Chinese face. I'm not Master Yi, you recognized the wrong person. My name is Kane, you can also call me Kane. Kane said with a simple smile. I'm John Wick's friend, I'm here to find him. Kane continued to add. Are you not the Marquis' man? Chen Ye asked curiously. Chen Ye still had a good impression of the man in front of him. Perhaps it was because he had the face of Master Yi. I'm not his man, but I was sent by him. But I don't plan to kill him today. Why don't we ask both sides to stop fighting? After all, it's not good for either side to continue fighting. Besides, the police should be here soon. Kane replied. Then Kane put the sword back into his cane, indicating that he had no intention of fighting. Chen Ye looked around and thought that it was time to make enough noise. Today was indeed lively enough. After all, there was another blind man watching covetously. Okay, you ask the Marquis' men to stop, and I'll ask our people to stop. Chen Ye agreed, then Chen Ye and Cain began to signal the people below to stop. Slowly, both sides began to lay down their weapons. One of the people from Hell's Kitchen said dissatisfiedly, "You asked us to stop, so we stopped. Why should we listen to you?" Chen Ye exuded the temperament of a superior, staring at the man from Hell's Kitchen with his eyes fixed. "If you want to fight, I will fight with you. Don't forget whose territory this street is. If you don't obey, I will let Jean Bing's people deal with you tomorrow. Stop it, all of you. If there is any loss today, go to Fisk Building to find Jean Bing to reimburse you. Now go back to your own nest. I promise that everyone will be compensated today." After listening to Chen Ye's soft and hard tactics, Hell's Kitchen could only go back to their homes even if they were dissatisfied. On the other side, Cain also let the killers retreat. Before leaving, one of the killer leaders also made a harsh statement to Chen Ye: "The Marquis will not let you go. Dare to stop our Gao Taizhua's people from doing things." After hearing this, Chen Ye also sneered, "Get ready for the revenge of Hell's Kitchen." Then, the New York police also arrived at the scene belatedly. Several policemen walked towards Chen Ye and Cain. Chen Ye also knew one of them, the police chief George Stacy. Police Chief George Stacy lit a cigarette and said to Chen Ye, "It's really lively here today, with RPGs and heavy machine guns." "Be quiet, Chen." Apparently, the chief was quite familiar with Chen. "It's okay now, you know, this is Hell's Kitchen after all. It's okay as long as no ordinary people are injured. Just say that someone accidentally fired a gun in Hell's Kitchen today." Chen Ye replied shamelessly. "You make it very difficult for me, Chen. I have to arrest a few people, otherwise I can't explain to the media and the people above. You know, those media are really good at making up stories. There may be terrorists fighting in Hell's Kitchen tomorrow." George Stacy said helplessly. After listening to this, Chen Ye pointed at the dozen or so corpses on the high table and said, "There are no living people. Those corpses are all assassins sent by the high table. You can take them back and report them. I don't care how you make them up. You make it very difficult for me." "Unless?" George Stacy asked. 500,000, I think the police station in Hell's Kitchen is a bit shabby, use this money to repair it." Chen Ye understood. This group of damn high tables dared to disturb the people in Hell's Kitchen, and were all shot dead by our police. "Take the bodies away, and withdraw the team." George Stacy's set of movements was smooth and flowing. Master Yi on the side laughed after hearing this. "You people in Hell's Kitchen are really interesting. Okay, I'll take you to see John Wick and the others." Chen Ye stretched and said, then he took Master Yi to the elevator of the apartment. When Chen Ye opened the door of the room. "Long time no see, Cain." Lao Ma greeted first, obviously recognizing Master Yi. "You are here to kill me too, Cain." John Wick was obviously not very happy to see this old friend. "I don't want to kill you, but the Marquis threatened me with my daughter," Master Yi said helplessly. After hearing this, Chen Ye's mind became active instantly. "Tell me the details, I can save your daughter, provided that you stay in Hell's Kitchen," Chen Ye said quickly. After all, fellow villagers meet, and tears well up in their eyes. Chen Ye still wants to keep this familiar face. After hearing this, Master Yi said instantly, "As long as you can save my daughter, I will agree to any request, provided that you don't do anything that is harmful to the world." Then John Wick and Lao Ma also stepped forward to thank him. "Thank you, Chen. We really troubled you too much." Ding, a system prompt sounded in my mind. Congratulations to the host Marcus for raising his favorability to 5 stars. Congratulations on obtaining the attribute, Sniper Mastery LV5. Do you want to merge immediately? Congratulations to the host for successfully adding John Wick as a friend. Congratulations on obtaining the attribute, Luck protagonist LV1. Congratulations to the host John Wick for raising his favorability to 2 stars. Congratulations on obtaining the attribute, Firearms Mastery LV10. Do you want to merge immediately? Merge immediately, Chen Ye's heart. It's so funny. Although there is only one special attribute, the others are ordinary attributes. But after integrating these ordinary attributes, Chen Ye is basically a human smallpox version without using superpowers. Chen Ye will finally be a little protagonist in the future. Don't look at it as just the luck protagonist LV1, but John Wick relied on this first-level halo to kill more than 600 people in 4 movies. In the future, bullets will have to avoid Chen Ye. The trouble is solved for the time being. You can rest here. I'll take care of the rest. Lao Ma, take good care of your old friend. Chen Ye said to John Wick. As for you, Master Yi, go back to the Marquis first. I will send someone to rescue your daughter. Wait for my good news. I won't disturb you to reminisce for now. Chen Ye got up and left, obviously ready to take revenge. Chapter 15. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old man was in a hurry to get out of the house. Fisk Building. King Bing, holding a cigar in his hand, looked down at everything happening in Hell's Kitchen through the window of his office. It's really lively in Hell's Kitchen today. King Bing sighed. Boss, do you need me to get rid of them? One of King Bing's men, Bullseye, asked. Bullseye knew that the boss in front of him was really angry, and immediately stood up to show his loyalty. No, notify the gangs in Hell's Kitchen to get rid of all the industries in the high table sphere of influence in New York, and whoever gets it will get it. The one who contributes the most will be exempted from 2 months of protection fees. Then I remember that the people sent this time are the Marquis people. His power is in France, right? Say hello to all the forces related to us in France. Whoever kills the Marquis will get $15 million. Finally, all residents of Hell's Kitchen who have the heads of the high table or the forces under the high table will get 10,000 per head. Jean Bing ordered one after another. Received, boss. The people around Jean Bing received the order and immediately withdrew and notified. Aren't they the most disciplined people in the high table? Why don't they have to abide by the rules of Hell's Kitchen when they come to my Hell's Kitchen? Since they don't abide by the rules, I will let them see the price of not abiding by the rules. Jean Bing said with his hands behind his back, looking at the scene of Hell's Kitchen outside the window. The next day, the people in Hell's Kitchen who heard the news were boiling, and they went home to take out various weapons, drove out of Hell's Kitchen. The supermarket owned by the New York forces of the high table broke into several tattooed strong men, holding machine guns and shooting at the ceiling, while the others robbed the money. They also burned the entire supermarket before leaving. A killer belonging to the high table was ruthlessly run over by a car just after walking out of the coffee shop. Similar things are happening all over the world at the same time. France, Marquis' mansion, gunfire roared. The Marquis was fleeing in a panic under the cover of several bodyguards. Fuck, this is the nth wave. Are these mercenaries crazy today? Why are they coming one after another? The Marquis said angrily. Mr. Marquis, you are very valuable now, please don't move. You are now offered a reward of $15 million by the black market. This price is enough to make mercenaries and killers all over the world boil. It is estimated that more killers will come. One of the Marquis' men said. Damn it. How dare they do this? I am one of the 12 elders of the high table. They will pay for this. I will let all the assassins of the high table take revenge. The Marquis roared. At this time, a grenade was thrown next to the Marquis, and the Marquis was terrified and at a loss. The Marquis bodyguards on the side hurriedly pulled the Marquis to run wildly. The Marquis was frightened and looked back at the explosion. For the first time, he was suddenly afraid of Hell's Kitchen. Retreat, cover the Marquis. We need support. A bodyguard in a suit said to the headset. In this way, the Marquis embarked on a journey of escape these days. He thought that as long as he avoided this attack, he would be safe. Little did he know that he would have to pay the price of his life next time. Good Luck Restaurant. Chen Ye was recruiting chefs at this time. He held a resume and said to the downtrodden Asian man with white hair across from him, "Mr. Stephen Chow, right? Why are you applying for this restaurant? I'm new here and want to make a living. I heard that you are the best in this street, and you provide food and accommodation." Stephen Chow said. "I saw your resume. You have won the title of International God of Cookery. What is the reason for you to become so downtrodden that you need to condescend to work for me?" The more Chen Ye looked at the resume, the more wrong it seemed. Why did this person's experience feel a little familiar? Ha ha ha, that's all in the past. A hero doesn't mention his past achievements. I wonder if I can do it. Stephen Chow asked. You also know that the most important thing for a chef is cooking skills. I wonder what Mr. Stephen Chow's specialty is. Chen Ye asked back. Well, I have many specialties, such as Buddha jumps over the wall and Manchu Han banquet. As for my best dish, it may be the sadness rice. Stephen Zhou replied. The sadness rice, a very unique name. Chen Ye was immediately interested. Just when Chen Ye was about to let Stephen Zhou show off his skills, an uninvited guest came to the restaurant, followed by John Wick and Lao Ma. Chen Ye could only see this. Turning to Stephen Chow, he said, "You're hired. The test will be later. Come back tomorrow. I have something to do now." Stephen Chow saw this and could only leave helplessly. Chen Ye didn't know how good a chef he had missed. "Chen, this is Winston, the former head of the New York Continental Hotel. Winston, this is our Mr. Chen Ye." John Wick introduced them. Chen Ye stepped forward and shook hands with Winston. "No one comes to visit you for no reason. I wonder what Mr. Winston needs." "Hello, Mr. Chen Ye, I came here mainly to find John this time. I want to teach him how to solve the troubles in front of him. But he said you would help him solve it, so I came to you out of curiosity. Secondly, I want to cooperate with you." Winston said straight to the point. After listening, Chen Ye was not in a hurry. He sat down, took out the tea set and started to make tea, and motioned them to sit down and talk. Chen Ye brewed tea and filled them one by one, then said, "Please drink tea, this is Pu'er from China. I roughly know what you want to renovate your Continental Hotel." Winston was surprised to hear this. He didn't expect Chen Ye to know his needs. Just as Winston was about to speak, Chen Ye continued, "I know you all want revenge. I will get rid of the marquee and let you reopen the Continental Hotel, but..." Winston knew that Chen Ye had conditions after hearing this, and said, "You said, as long as you can help me get revenge and reopen the hotel, I can give you any amount of money." Chen Ye smiled and shook his head, then pointed at Winston, "I don't want money, I want you." Winston and John's faces changed instantly. They didn't expect Chen Ye to have such a hobby. Chen Ye knew they had misunderstood when he saw their expressions, and he quickly explained, "I'm not gay, I mean I want you to be loyal to me, as well as the Continental Hotel and your resources behind you. And I want the Continental Hotel to be opened in Hell's Kitchen. Anyway, your Continental Hotel has been bombed." Winston was silent after hearing this. Chen Ye struck while the iron was hot and said, "I know your concerns, I will solve the problems that I will solve with the high table. I will let you open normally, there will be no trouble. You just need to be loyal to me. I don't know how you will solve it. You also know that if you are not one of the 12 seats of the high table, it is impossible to make the Continental Hotel loyal to you. I personally have no problem. And even if you solve the marquee, there will be others who will continue to trouble you." Winston expressed his concerns. "You don't have to worry about this. Isn't the Antonio family of the high table in New York almost destroyed? I just need to replace this family. I can't do it, but Kingpin can't do it," Chen Ye said calmly after drinking a sip of tea. "The next step is to challenge the high table. The condition is that they open the Continental Hotel in the New York kitchen and it will belong to me. Chen Ye has secured one of the 12 seats in the high table. Even Jesus can't stop him." Chapter 16. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The desert near Casablanca, the headquarters of the high table. I guess your business has been destroyed by the Kingpin of Hell's Kitchen recently. A Middle Eastern man with a block on his head said as he sat at one of the seats at a large round table, "This large round table has 12 seats, which represent the 12 seats of the high table. Currently, only 10 of them are occupied, and those who are not present have opened the video call. Today is the elders' meeting of the high table, which is aimed at the recent revenge from Hell's Kitchen. Those who are not present are the Marquis who is on the run and the people of Antonio's family who have died." "Damn Marquis, why didn't you come? I wanted to talk to him about compensation. It's all because of his arrogance that we have suffered so much loss." A Russian elder roared angrily. "So we have to retaliate. Jean Bing is challenging the authority of our high table. Let outsiders think that our high table is easy to bully." A Korean man who looks like a star said. "Peace is the most precious thing, peace is the most precious thing. Everyone comes out to make money. Besides, I heard that it was the Marquis who broke the rules first and went directly to Jean Bing's territory to cause trouble for Jean Bing's godson. I think it's better to find someone to talk to Jean Bing first. I heard that Jean Bing's godson is also very interested in joining our high table." The speaker at this time is an elder with an Asian face on the screen. "All kinds of cats and dogs want to join our high table club," said an old man in a samurai costume with disdain. "I heard that Kingpin's godson is a mutant who controls magic. And now John Wick and Marcus, 2 former legendary killers, are under his command, and there are 2 immortal mercenaries." An elder named Mtlnove said. Then Mtlnove held the remote control in his right hand and turned on the big screen to play the video of Chen Ye's fight in Hell's Kitchen that day. The elders looked at Chen Ye in the picture, flying, stopping bullets, bombing with magic, and the terrifying speed and amazing power, all of which told everyone that he was powerful. After watching the video at this moment, the expressions of the many elders on the screen and sitting in the conference room were different. Some were disdainful, some were shocked, and some were expressionless. But there is no doubt that they were also shocked by Chen Ye's strength. Kingpin is really lucky to have such a powerful godson. One of the elders said jealously. "Ha ha ha, I still want to meet this little friend." The elder of Hongmen said in his loud voice. Seeing this, Elder Mtlnove on the side also said, "There are no eternal enemies, only eternal interests. This world has always been ruled by those who are capable. I think it's better to talk to Jean Bing. I think everyone present is very clear about Jean Bing's strength, so I don't need to say it. So, I will talk to him about a truce. After all, every day of delay means we lose one more day. Let's start voting, peace or war." After a round of voting, Elder Mtlnove began to count the votes: 6 votes in favor of peace talks, 2 votes in favor of fighting, and 2 abstentions. "I will be responsible for talking to Jean Bing, that's it, adjourn the meeting." Fisk building, that I saw Jean Bing's huge body sitting on a high-end Italian custom sofa answering the phone. "Jean Bing, it's time to stop. You guys in Hell's Kitchen have been in the limelight these 2 days. Do you really think our high table is a soft persimmon? Do you really want to fight to the death for a godson? Besides, your godson is fine. You know, we have our own judges in the high table." Elder Mtlnove threatened. It is obvious that the high table knows Jean Bing. After all, they are all top figures in the dark world, and it is normal for them to have business dealings. "Mtlnove, we are old friends. What do you mean by for a godson? Fortunately, my godson is fine, so I will teach you a lesson. We can come and go as we please in Hell's Kitchen. If my dear godson gets into trouble, I will let all of you in the high table be buried with him even if I risk my life." Jean Bing smoked a cigar and didn't care about the threat from the high table. "Besides, you deserve to die together," Jean said disdainfully. After hearing Jean Bing's ridicule, Elder Mtlnove on the other end of the phone took a deep breath. After all, now that it is indeed not easy to tear each other apart. After all, the high table is a union of 12 top families, and it is not a solid block. Everyone has their own selfishness, and it is impossible to destroy their family business for a marquis. To be honest, Jean Bing has no direct hatred with them, and there are even some interests. If a war really breaks out, some of them may turn to Jean Bing's side. Tell me your conditions, how can I calm your anger? Mtlnove asked helplessly. It's very simple, I want a seat in the high table. The Continental Hotel in New York will be opened in our Hell's Kitchen. The money for the renovation will be paid by you, the high table, and my people will take care of it. And you have to compensate me and my godson for mental damages, and the labor costs of Hell's Kitchen. $500 million. Jean Bing said loudly. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Not to mention that there is an ancient family behind the 12 seats of the high table, you can't be one. And rebuilding a continental hotel, you know how much it costs. Then let's go to war. Mtlnove seemed to be losing his mind after hearing Jean Bing's conditions. Jean poured a glass of red wine calmly, and then said, Don't worry, I know that your high table has an ancient tradition, that is, one-on-one duels. The winner can get any promise from your high table. I can let my godson participate and fight against the Marquis. When the Marquis loses, we will kill their family forces together, and the assets we get will be enough to rebuild a continental hotel and compensate. Others in your high table don't have to pay a penny. Mtlnove's pupils trembled after hearing this, and he realized that Jean Bing's appetite was so big. Not only did he want a seat, but he also wanted to destroy the whole family. He was worthy of being the overlord of Hell's Kitchen. But, you know that the prerequisite for initiating a duel is to join the family first. Chen Ye is not a member of the 12 families. It's okay. I have sent people to kill all the people from the Antonio family in New York. There is no such family in the world. Chen Ye just represents my Fisk family. Also, just give the seat of the high table to my godson. I am old and will not join it. Jean Bing said lightly, as if the matter of the family that had just been destroyed had nothing to do with him. Okay, I can decide and agree to your nephew's seat. I will also notify you about the duel, but the Marquis family is very powerful, and we may not take action. Mtlnove agreed. 64 points, I will take 6, and as for the remaining 4, I don't care how you divide it. Jean Bing interrupted Mtlnove and quoted. We will take action. The premise is that your godson can win. Hearing Jean Bing's offer, Mtlnove also agreed. Chapter 17. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The king of the city was in trouble, France, Marquis Castle. The high table judge found the Marquis who was admiring the painting. He presented Chen Ye's challenge letter and said, This is a challenge letter from Chen Ye in Hell's Kitchen. According to the rules, you must accept the challenge. The Marquis didn't care at first. He spread his hands and crossed his legs and said comfortably, According to the rules of the high table, people who don't belong to any family of the high table should not be able to challenge. The high table judge lowered his head and told the Marquis, Just today, the high table unanimously agreed that Kingpin replaced the Antonio family in New York to establish a new family. According to the rules, Chen Ye is here to challenge you on behalf of the Fisk family. After hearing this, the Marquis' wonderful mood instantly fell to the bottom. Although he remained calm on the surface, the oppression of Hell's Kitchen represented by Chen Ye could not be completely hidden. The Marquis was not as comfortable as before. He stood up with his hands on his hips, his eyes dull, probably recalling the experience of being beaten and fleeing in a panic a few days ago. As the Marquis of the high table, he knew very well that the challenge could not be refused. And the judge of the high table also put forward Jean Bing, or Chen Ye's request. First of all, there is a compensation of 500 million yuan, and John Wick must be freed, and the Continental Hotel in New York must be rebuilt, and all the costs of the repairs must be borne by the Marquis. Of course, all of this is based on Chen Ye's victory. The Marquis looked at the painting in front of him and agreed happily. After all, he could not refuse it. At this time, he realized how heavy the price of provoking Hell's Kitchen was. Then, the Marquis set the place to discuss the challenge at the Eiffel Tower at noon. After listening, the judge of the high table said, I will convey it to Mr. Chen Ye. Then he turned and left. The Marquis was left thinking, Hell's Kitchen, good luck restaurant. Okay, I got it. Chen Ye hung up the phone. John Wick and Winston were waiting anxiously. Chen Ye slowly said, the Marquis agreed to the conditions and will go to Paris tomorrow to discuss the duel. John Wick and Winston looked at each other and breathed a sigh of relief. I didn't expect Chen Ye to really convince the High Table to agree to such an outrageous condition. However, France is the Marquis's territory. Are you sure the Marquis will participate in the duel obediently? Winston obviously saw the problem. Of course I know that it is the Marquis's territory, and I also know that he will not let me participate in the duel easily. After all, he knows who will be the loser if it really happens. Chen Ye smiled slightly. Chen Ye certainly knew the Marquis's mind. He just wanted to use the power of the family to gather people to kill Chen Ye before the duel. The Marquis wanted to kill Chen Ye, and Chen Ye also wanted to kill the Marquis, not just the Marquis, but also the Marquis's forces. If Chen Ye changed the location to New York, first of all, he killed the Marquis, and other members of the Marquis family would retaliate continuously. Although Chen Ye was not afraid of retaliation, it would also bring him trouble unexpectedly, so the best way is to kill once and for all. Just go to other people's territory and see whose people are stronger. If you want to get involved, you have to rely on power and strength. In Paris, don't I have enough people to call in Hell's Kitchen? Pack up, John and Lao Ma will go to Paris with me to work. As for Winston, stay here with Pietro and wait for my good news. After saying that, Chen Ye stood up and prepared to pack up and set off. At noon the next day, Chen Ye took John Wick to the appointment on time. After the confirmation of the High Table messenger, the Marquis had already sat on the chair of the duel table with his legs crossed and waited for a long time. Seeing Chen Ye and John Wick, the culprit behind everything, the Marquis showed a trace of resentment on his face, and then instantly smiled and said to Chen Ye, "Mr. Chen Ye, you are indeed a handsome man. The previous incident in Hell's Kitchen was my mistake. In this case, I will spend $500 million as compensation. As long as you hand over John Wick to me, I can pretend that nothing happened. After all, you have become a member of the High Table, just like me. You don't have to sacrifice everything for an insignificant killer, right?" Chen Ye sat opposite the Marquis, first ignoring the Marquis, and instead said to Master Yi behind the Marquis in Chinese, "Master Yi, the community college in Hell's Kitchen is ready to enroll students." Obviously, Chen Ye wanted to use this euphemistic way to come and tell Master Yi that his daughter is safe. Originally, Chen Ye didn't want to use such a flamboyant method. Even if it was in Chinese, there would be a risk of being exposed, and it would be easy for the Marquis opposite to guess it. But Master Yi was blind, so he couldn't see Chen Ye's gestures, so he could only tell him with his voice. The Marquis on the side looked at Chen Ye and Master Yi with a puzzled look. He did not expect that the two of them would be related, and his face was gloomy for a while. Master Yi obviously understood what Chen Ye meant, and there wasn't even any change on his face. Ran, who didn't know, thought Master Yi was ignoring Chen Ye. In fact, the system has already told Chen Ye. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully adding Kane as a friend. Acquired attribute, Swordsmanship LV7. Congratulations to the host, Kane's favorability has been raised to 2 stars. Attribute acquired, Hearing Enhancement LV8. Congratulations to the host, Kane's favorability has been raised to 3 stars. Attribute acquired, Martial Arts Mastery LV7. Whether to merge immediately? Yes, Chen Ye quickly replied in his mind. It seems that his daughter is indeed very important to him. After coming back to his senses, Chen Ye quickly asked the Marquis, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you just said." The Marquis narrowed his eyes. He was obviously dissatisfied with Chen Ye's indifferent attitude. He just wanted to kill this ignorant guy, but he still held back his anger. "It's okay, I mean, you can take John Wick." Chen Ye directly shook his index finger and interrupted, "It doesn't matter what you say. John Wick is my friend. You know that people in Hell's Kitchen all have one characteristic, and that is to protect their shortcomings. I just need to make sure that it is you who wants to kill me. Friends, so stop talking nonsense and get started." Just when Chen Ye finished saying this, the voice of the system came again in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host, John Wick's favorability has been raised to 3 stars. Attribute acquired, Assassination Mastery LV10. Congratulations to the host, John Wick's favorability has been increased to 4 stars. Attribute acquired, Driving Proficiency LV9. Congratulations to the host, John Wick's favorability has been raised to 5 stars. Attribute acquired, Dog Raising, LV10. Immediate fusion or not. Instant integration. Chen Ye instantly felt the human skeleton appear in his mind, and knew where it was easiest to die. Looking at the dog raising proficiency gained, Chen Ye complained, John Wick still really loves dogs. He is almost maxing out his dog raising skills, and he happens to have a dog at home. The moment Chen Ye saw the system prompt, he knew that John Wick truly regarded him as a good friend. Hell's Kitchen once again welcomed a legendary killer, but unfortunately he was retired. However, in the future, Hell's Kitchen schools can add a self-defense class and let John Wick be the teacher of this class. After all, New York is such a mess. The children will no longer be in Hell's Kitchen, so they will need some self-preservation ability. Okay, if you are determined to go against me, then you will go to hell with your good friends. It was obvious that the Marquis had lost his patience and did not intend to abide by the rules of the high table. With a wave of his hand, countless killers who had been waiting in ambush rushed out from all directions, and even 2 helicopters appeared in the sky. Chapter 18. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The enemy was in chaos, and the enemy was in chaos. The consul under the Marquis led a group of his men and assassins with heavy machine guns and started shooting. Kill them all. Since you dare to be my enemy, kill everyone here. The Marquis knew that only by killing everyone here, even the high table society could not do anything to him. After all, there would be no evidence. After waving his hand, the Marquis quickly joined the assassins in the back. Tat, tat, bullets poured out of the assassins' guns as if they were free. Seeing this, Chen Ye quickly jumped up from the chair and overturned the table with one hand. The dense bullets shot through the table and shot towards Chen Ye, leaving thumb-sized bullet holes on the table. Chen Ye did not use chaos magic to directly bounce the bullets as before, but wanted to try out the swordsmanship he had just acquired. Then he used chaos magic in his right hand to create a sword and chopped at the flying bullets. Ding 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 ding. Then Chen Ye took off with a ricochet and killed the killer. With Chen Ye's inhuman reaction and skilled swordsmanship, Chen Ye harvested the killer's life like the god of death. Master Yi listened to the familiar rhythm of the swordsmanship on the opposite side and was secretly shocked. How could the swordsmanship used by Chen Ye be so similar to my swordsmanship? Did he also use a sword all the time? But the previous information clearly showed that he used a knife. Did he learn my swordsmanship from the last time we sparred? There are such geniuses in the world. It's really a hero born in youth. I really want to spar with him. The high table messenger on the side was unfortunately shot and killed in the hail of bullets. Even though he was wearing a bulletproof suit, John at the back also jumped up from the chair, grabbed the pistol at his waist with his back hand, loaded the bullet, and rolled over to shoot at the killer. Bang! A killer was shot and fell to the ground instantly. Then John Wick quickly hid behind a pillar. Seeing that the first wave of attacks was blocked by Chen Ye and John Wick, the Marquis shouted angrily to Master Yi, Cain, it's your turn, get rid of them quickly. Get rid of them, and I will reunite you father and daughter. Master Yi at the side also stood up from the chair slowly after hearing this, and then drew his sword. Actually, the person I want to kill the most is you. Then Master Yi suddenly jumped up with his left hand holding a gun and quickly shot at the Marquis' men on both sides. The bullet quickly passed through the Marquis' men's heads and killed them instantly. He rushed towards the Marquis with his right hand holding a sword. Seeing the sudden sneak attack, the Marquis didn't react for a while. Just as Master Ye's sword was about to chop at his head, the consul on the side quickly stood in front of the Marquis and raised his right hand to block Master Ye's sword. Master Yi realized that the sneak attack was not successful, and quickly slid away, and then distanced himself from the Marquis and others. The Marquis did not expect Master Yi to suddenly turn against him. After all, Master Ye's daughter was still in his hands. Cain, you don't want your daughter anymore, and you dare to attack me. Damn it, you should also go down and keep your daughter company, the Marquis said angrily, and then ordered the killers to shoot at Master Yi. Master Yi dodged the bullets, either with his suit or with his sword. He smiled and said, "You don't have to worry about my daughter, you should worry about yourself." Seeing that Master Yi was unharmed, the Marquis on the side was anxious and quickly grabbed the RPG of his subordinates beside him. Then a missile flew towards Master Yi, boom. Master Yi, who was struggling to dodge bullets at the moment, had no choice but to listen to the sound of the missile getting closer and closer to him. I knew in my heart that I couldn't dodge this time, but I regretted not seeing my daughter before I died. However, with Chen Ye and John Wick here, they should take good care of my daughter. Go to hell, the one who betrayed me. Marquis looked at Master Yi, who was about to be blown to pieces by the missile, with excitement. Bang, ha ha ha. How could it be? Marquis's laughter stopped abruptly, because the imagined explosion did not happen. Just when the missile was about to hit Master Yi, a red light fixed the missile. It turned out that Chen Ye behind Master Yi took action. No, you dare to touch my people, and you don't learn your lesson. Guns and cannons are useless to me. Chen Ye opened the 5 fingers of his right hand and said while posing. Then the missile turned around and flew back to the Marquis side as if it had GPS positioning. Chen Ye had just dealt with the assassins around him, and was about to go find trouble with the Marquis when he saw Yi. Master Yi was almost blown up, so he quickly rescued Master Yi. Master Yi, I saved your life again. Chen Ye teased the embarrassed Master Yi. Thank you. Master Yi stood up calmly and patted the dust on his body. Ding. Congratulations to the host, Kane's favorability has been raised to 4 stars. Get the attribute, Wing Chun LV5. Do you want to merge immediately? Merge immediately. Chen Ye looked at Master Yi on the side in surprise. You still say you are not Master Yi, you even know Wing Chun. Could it be that Master Yi went abroad and followed the local customs and stopped wearing Zhongshan suits, and started wearing suits? The explosion suddenly sounded, the flames shot up to the sky, and the floor and some meat scraps flew across. Chen Ye said to Master Yi, you go and deal with the other killers, and leave the Marquis to me. Then Chen Ye walked towards the flames. The Marquis had lost his former elegance. His white suit was stained with blood. He was in great pain and collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath. Ding-ling-ling, that the old-fashioned mobile phone rang. The Marquis took out his mobile phone from his pocket with difficulty. Mr. Marquis, our various industries have been attacked by unknown people. We have suffered heavy losses and need support. Members of the family have also been attacked inexplicably, with heavy casualties. Marquis, you must avenge us. A miserable and sad voice sounded. After hearing this, the Marquis was furious and spit out a mouthful of blood. Chen Ye. The Marquis cried miserably. Why, you were the first to attack. If you were standing now, do you think you would show mercy? Chen Ye slowly squatted down and looked at the Marquis, who was lying on the ground. Chen Ye was not the kind of person who was soft-hearted. He knew that being kind to the enemy was cruel to himself. Chen Ye doesn't like to cause trouble, but if he does, he needs to solve the problem from the root. Chen Ye asked himself if he could follow the principle of not killing like Batman, which was too saintly. He would also cause himself too many unnecessary troubles. You see, every time Batman caught a villain and sent him to a comb hospital, the villain would stay in seclusion and upgrade, and then come out to attack Batman after upgrading. It's really endless. Maybe Batman is too rich and has no pursuit, so he just likes this, but Chen Ye doesn't like it at all. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Since you don't let me live, let everyone be buried with me. Marquis took out a small black square box from somewhere and pressed it. Chen Ye suddenly sensed the danger with his sixth sense, and his right eyelid jumped wildly. What is this thing of yours? What did you do? Chen Ye asked Marquis seriously. After all, with Chen Ye's current strength, ordinary people rarely threaten Chen Ye's life safety, unless... Guess what? Ha 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 ha. You all have to die, and the whole of Paris will be buried with me. The Marquis laughed like crazy. In an unknown desert, a big mushroom was slowly launched, and the destination was Paris. You damn lunatic, where did you get the big mushroom? Chen Ye's face suddenly became ugly. Chen Ye didn't expect that the Marquis family had such a great ability to get the big mushroom, and then stepped forward and grabbed the small black square box, pressed it hard. It's useless, once the big mushroom is launched, it will never stop, no matter how you press it, it's useless. The Marquis continued to taunt. Chen Ye took out a gun and pointed it at the Marquis on the ground. Bang bang, a few shots, let the Marquis shut up forever. Chapter 19. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The scene was very chaotic, but the scene was very chaotic. Paris, under the Eiffel Tower. It was already a mess at this time, with a lot of gunpowder and bloody smells in the air, and the ground was full of holes and broken stones. The bodies of the killers were also scattered everywhere, telling people that a big battle had just happened here. John Wick and Master Yi on the side also dealt with their killers and walked towards Chen Ye. The two walked forward and saw only the body of the Marquis and Chen Ye standing aside with a solemn face. Then Master Yi said with a smile on his face, "Thank you, Chen. Thank you for saving my daughter and killing the Marquis. It's finally over. Let's go, I'll treat you to noodles." After hearing this, Chen Ye said solemnly, "It's not over yet." Before his death, the Marquis fired a big mushroom, and the target location was the city of Paris. He wanted the whole city to be buried with him. Madman. After hearing what Chen Ye said, John Wick and Master Yi's first reaction popped into their minds. He actually wanted the whole city to be buried with him. Is there a way to stop it? John Wick said expressionlessly. Chen Ye was very relieved to hear John Wick's words. Their first reaction was not to run away, and even if they were cold-blooded killers, they would not let innocent people get involved in this matter. Chen Ye likes to make friends, but he also has his own bottom line. First of all, he definitely doesn't want his friends to betray him, and secondly, he doesn't like to kill innocent people. After all, Chen Ye was also an ordinary person in his previous life. Ordinary people have tried their best to survive, and in this world full of superheroes, it is even more difficult. Maybe when you go to work, the car you bought with a loan with great effort will be destroyed by the aftermath of a superhero, or when you are walking on the street, you may be killed by aliens or something. So if possible, Chen Ye really doesn't want to affect innocent people. It is obvious that the Marquis has touched his bottom line. French government. Report to the leader, a big mushroom will attack the capital in 10 minutes. An official in military uniform rushed into the leader's office and reported. What? The French leader stood up immediately after hearing it, and then conveyed the order. Who is it? Are you going to start the Fourth World War? Start to move to refuge immediately, and see if the Secret Intelligence Service can stop this big mushroom. Leader, it's not safe here anymore, retreat quickly, said the official in military uniform. Another agent chief came in. The leader has found out that this big mushroom is from Marquis Vincent de Gramont of the Paris High Table. As for the source, it has not been found out yet. We have started to prevent this big mushroom from entering the city. Once it enters the city, half of the city will be blown up. It's too late to notify the citizens to evacuate now. The military has organized a death air force to try to make the big mushroom explode in the sky. Leader, the situation is urgent, please retreat now. Immediately let the military greet the high table and tell them what they want to do. The leader said angrily. At this moment, S.H.I.E.L.D., the CIA, the Shinmao Bureau, and the Federal Security Bureau are all in action, trying to understand what happened. The desert near Casablanca, the headquarters of the high table. What does the Marquis want to do? First he killed the messenger representing the high table, and then used the big mushroom. Does he want to destroy our high table? An elder of the high table said angrily on the screen. The most urgent thing is to get the Marquis out of the high table first. Tell the outside world that he betrayed us and is no longer a member of the high table. Then find a way to deal with this big mushroom. If we don't deal with this big mushroom, we will all be finished. Elder Mtlnove calmly proposed a method. At this time, the elder of Hongmen asked, is Jean Bing's godson at the scene at this moment? Doesn't he have superpowers? See if he can solve it. If he can solve it, all of us in the high table owe him a favor. The elders on the screen were silent after hearing this, as if they tacitly agreed to the proposal of the Hongmen elders. Elder Mtlnove remained silent, as if there was no better way at the moment. He picked up the phone and dialed Chen Ye's phone number that Jean Bing gave him. Mr. Chen Ye, I am Elder Mtlnove of the High Table. The big mushroom will explode in your city in 9 minutes. I wonder if you can solve the current situation. Mtlnove said, he said it straight to the point. Hello, Elder Mtlnove, I am also trying to find a way at the moment, but don't worry, I have no problem staying alive. It's just that asking me to solve it is a bit too much. Chen Ye also said on the other end of the phone. So, as long as you can help the High Table solve this big trouble, all members of the High Table will owe you a favor. Elder Mtlnove also stated his conditions. Don't worry, even without your request, I will do my best to stop the big mushroom, and I don't want so many innocent citizens to lose their lives. That's it. Chen Ye hung up the phone quickly, then Chen Ye kept thinking of ways in his mind. Chaos magic didn't work. First of all, the size was too large. Secondly, Chen Ye's blue bar was not enough for Chen Ye to control the big mushroom to fly to a certain height. High-speed movement couldn't save the people in the entire city. Even if it could be saved, the impact after the explosion would be huge. It was not something Chen Ye could bear. At this time, Chen Ye only hated that he was not strong enough. Since the mysterious measurement method didn't work, the scientific measurement method was scientific. Chen Ye suddenly had an idea. I have a man cursed by knowledge. He quickly picked up his phone to contact Tony Stark. Hey, isn't this Mr. Chen Ye from Hell's Kitchen? You've been very popular in the underground world recently. You were the one who set off the fireworks in Hell's Kitchen a few days ago. What, have you found the murderer behind the scenes? Tony Stark teased Chen Ye without knowing anything. To make a long story short, I'll tell you the murderer behind the scenes in a few days. Now do me a favor. In less than 10 minutes, a big mushroom will explode in the center of Paris. I'm also in Paris. If you want to know the murderer behind the scenes, think of a way to stop this big mushroom. Chen Ye quickly said his intention. Tony Stark on the other end of the phone also understood the seriousness of the matter and quickly called up the screen, Jarvis, check the big mushroom flying to Paris for me. A lot of information about the big mushroom quickly popped up in front of Tony Stark. How is it, can it be solved? Time is short and the task is heavy. Chen Ye asked. It may be a little difficult for others, but for a genius like me, it's a piece of cake. There are only two ways, either the big mushroom doesn't explode, or it explodes somewhere else. Tony Stark paused. In fact, there should be someone in the government who knows the method, but it's difficult to crack the program of the big mushroom, and time is a bit tight. If they have more time, they can also do it. So can you do it? Chen Ye interrupted the chatterbox Tony. Shut up, don't question me, I'm already cracking it, it will take some time. Tony replied to Chen Ye while typing the code to crack it. Time passed by minute, just 1 minute before the big mushroom arrived. Done, I set it to fly over the Pacific Ocean and explode, there will be no one within 100 kilometers. Tony Stark set the last program. Chief, someone changed the direction of the big mushroom, and now it is flying towards the Pacific Ocean. Paris is safe. The chief heard the voice on the other end of the phone and breathed a sigh of relief. Put me through to the High Table, I want to talk to their leader. Then the chief ordered angrily. Chapter 20. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 1989 incident was a tragedy. New York, Hell's Kitchen, Good Luck Restaurant. It has been a week since the Eiffel Tower brawl was resolved. The High Table paid a series of chips to appease the French leader to calm his anger and avoid a catastrophe. As for the family of Marquis Vincent de Gramont, they were not only hit by the Kingpin's forces, but also disappeared in the long river of history under the joint efforts of the High Table and the government. Because of the official intentional interception, the citizens of Paris did not know that they had avoided a big mushroom attack. Everything returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. Only people in the dark world know that Marquis Vincent de Gramont betrayed the High Table and joined forces with terrorists to destroy the center of Paris, but was resolved by Chen Ye, the new elder from the High Table. That's right, 2 days have passed since Chen Ye was recognized by the High Table. Chen Ye also returned to his restaurant in Hell's Kitchen and lived a normal life. Chen Ye, you did such a big thing, but you didn't take me with you. You don't love me anymore. After knowing this, Deadpool slapped the table and complained that Chen Ye didn't take him with him when there was such a fun thing. Okay, last time it wasn't an emergency, and you didn't know where to go, so I didn't call you. Chen Ye didn't look back and drank his tea. I really want to try the taste of being blown up by a big mushroom. I wonder if it can blow me to death. Remember to call me next time there is such a good thing. It turned out that Deadpool wanted to see if the big mushroom could blow him to death. Then I guess it's a close call. With your ability, you won't die even if the Earth is destroyed. Chen Ye rolled his eyes. Footsteps were heard outside the restaurant. The people who came were Winston, Master John Wick Yi and a judge of the high table. The judge walked to the tea table, took out a suitcase, opened it, placed it in front of Chen Ye, and said, "This is the Elder Identity gold coin sent by the high table, the judge gold coins, as well as your identity verification card and a mobile phone for the elders of the high table. There are 3 Elder Identity gold coins in total. As long as you go to any force controlled by the high table and show the Elder gold coins, they will do their best to serve you. This identity verification card has your exclusive verification code. This is when you need to issue any instructions or rewards to the high table. With your authority as an elder, you can perform a series of operations on it. There are a total of 9 judge gold coins here, which means that you can have 9 judges under your command. The identity information of the judges needs to be uploaded to the archive center of the high table for identity confirmation. As for the elder's special mobile phone, it is convenient for you to use it when you hold a meeting. Generally speaking, when the high table holds an elder meeting, a big shot like you will definitely not have time to go to the headquarters, so you only need to use this mobile phone for the meeting." After hearing the judge's explanation, Chen Ye understood. Deadpool on the side quickly took out the elder's gold coin, put it in his mouth and bit it. It was good, there was a tooth mark, and then he quietly put it in his pocket. "Can this thing be remade if it is lost?" Chen Ye asked. The judge was speechless after hearing this question. "Elder Chen Ye, this has never happened in the history of the high table, so there should be no problem. Pietro, put this thing away, don't let a thief in a red hood take it away." Chen Ye almost named him. Pietro stepped forward to take the briefcase from the judge, and by the way, he glared at Deadpool who was watching covetously on the side. As for the elder's gold coin that Deadpool had embezzled, Chen Ye and Pietro tacitly did not ask for it. The judge continued to take out a briefcase from his side and opened it, which was filled with densely packed document bags. "Elder Chen Ye, this is the Marquis's legacy in the high table. Considering that you are not in Paris, the high table has taken the initiative to replace it with a place that is convenient for you. Obviously, this is the hush money and thank you fee given to Chen Ye by the high table. The first part is mainly real estate, arsenals, and training bases across the United States. The second part is the shares and some bonds of the Marquis Investment Company, etc. As for the third part..." Chen Ye interrupted the judge directly. Okay, no need to say. Send it all to Fisk Building. No need to say the rest. Chen Ye is not uninterested in money, but he is afraid that if he knows too much, he will start to be lazy and lose interest in making money, and no matter how much money there is, it is useless in the Marvel Universe. When Thanos comes, will Chen Ye take out a check and say here is 100 billion, leave the Earth for me? Besides, Chen Ye does not have 100 billion, if Thanos takes the 100 billion and leaves, Chen Ye will find ways to kidnap Iron Man and do something else. Anyway, Chen Ye knows that he will never spend all the money in this life. Seeing Chen Ye's lack of interest in money, the high table's judge was very impressed and continued to explain. Here are the high table's death squad stationed in New York. This is their personnel list and detailed information. Originally there were about 100 people, but after the last time they made a scene in Hell's Kitchen, you, the elder, killed some of them. Now there are less than 30 people left. These men are given to you by the elders of the high table. You can use them however you want. After hearing the gifts from the elders, Chen Ye felt a little embarrassed and said, "Forget it, let them go back. After all, I have killed many of them. They are embarrassed to see me, and I am embarrassed to see them. After all, they almost killed someone, and now they want their loyalty. Even if they don't say it, they must have complaints in their hearts. Just forget it. The judge seemed to know what Chen Ye was thinking. Elder Chen Ye, don't worry. If you don't want them, you will be asked to commit mass suicide, so you saved them by wanting them. After listening, Chen Ye had no choice but to nod his head, which was considered as tacit consent to this matter, and it was also considered as saving a life. As for their arrangements, when the school community opens in the future, a lot of security guards will be needed to ensure the safety of the students, so let them stay there, and there is a lack of sanitation workers to clean the streets. Finally, I wonder if you have any opinions on the reconstruction of the New York Continental Hotel. The judge asked. The location is in the next block, and Winston, come over. Chen Ye called to Winston. Winston on the side quickly stood up. Chen Ye led Winston to the judge and said, I don't need to introduce this person. This is Winston, the former head of the New York Continental Hotel. Now he is one of my judges. He will be fully responsible for the new construction of the hotel. Winston looked at Chen Ye with gratitude. Thank you for helping me get revenge and letting me take charge of the Continental Hotel again. I will definitely manage it for you. Winston was full of gratitude. On the one hand, he had worked for the high table for so long, but he was driven out by the Marquis just because he violated the rules. He blew up the New York Continental Hotel that he had worked hard for many years and killed his good butler. Chen Ye not only avenged him, but also handed over the New York Continental Hotel to him after just knowing each other for a short time. Chen Ye's trust touched Winston, who had experienced the warmth and coldness of human relationships. A man dies for his own sake. Winston decided to give his life to Chen Ye. Then Winston asked Chen Ye, I wonder what your requirements are for this Continental Hotel, such as decoration, layout, etc. Chen Ye said with confidence, I'm relieved to leave it to you. You can talk to the people of the high table for the rest. I only have one request, that is, ordinary positions in the Continental Hotel should be given priority to people in Hell's Kitchen. Winston was stunned after hearing this. He was not sure if he heard it wrong, and then hurriedly asked again, can you say it again? Seeing this, Chen Ye said clearly, you heard it right, I only have one request, that is, ordinary positions in the Continental Hotel, such as waiters, cleaners, chefs and other positions, should give priority to ordinary residents of Hell's Kitchen. Winston heard Chen Ye's affirmative answer and thought for a moment. Then he looked at Chen Ye with admiration. Unexpectedly, Chen Ye did not seek benefits for himself, but for ordinary people in Hell's Kitchen. I thought that I really did not make a mistake. Such an adult is worth following. Winston bowed 90 degrees and placed his right hand on his chest to pay the highest tribute. I will complete your request at all costs. I am willing to guarantee it with my life. Ding. Congratulations to the host, successfully added Winston as a friend. Obtained a tribute, Noble Etiquette LV8. Congratulations to the host. Congratulations to the host, Winston's favorability has been raised to full stars, 6 stars upper limit. Congratulations to the host, Winston has become your family. You have obtained all of Winston's skills, and existing skills will automatically upgrade by 1 level. Subsequently, the skills of family members will be upgraded, and the host will also automatically upgrade. Congratulations to the host, the current number of family members, 2, there are 3 more family members, and the system will be upgraded. Please keep up the good work, host. Hearing the system's prompt, Chen Ye looked at Winston in surprise. He didn't expect it to be so easy to make Winston his family.